there, and welcome to Celeb Hut! So, it seems to be Little Kim isn't back friendly with Faith Evans, since she just taunted Faith's very poisonous relationship with Stevie J. Individuals know me and Remy. Alright, that assuming we will discuss someone, we going to say their name, we will address them, we will make it that or whatever. We simply making music, we doing what we do. Kim is playing Faith and calling her out for being a poser, by remaining in a poisonous, untidy relationship. Despite the fact that she beat him up over quite a while, back over a harmful relationship with Biggie, yet did Kim's fooling go excessively far this time? And did she truly uncover Faith for cheating? So Faith Evans has had her reasonable portion of undesirable connections since Big Deal Smalls, and it doesn't seem as though it will get any better. It's been an endless flow of harmful connections. However, her most recent union with Stevie J very well could be the most poisonous. Of all, it was poisonous to the point that Little Kim, who has too much harmful relationship, is comedian in Faith, so you all skill terrible. It must be currently Faith and Stevie J go way back to the 90s. Yet they reached out in 2016 when Faith chose to record a collection named The Lord and I. It was a cooperative collection among her and her most memorable spouse, Big Deal Smalls, since it highlighted unreleased vocals by Big Deal. She worked with a few group on the creation of the collection, including Diddy and Stevie J, while Stevie got sentiments while they were cooperating him, and he began attempting to put the continues on trust. Presently recollect how I said they go way back. Well, their association back then, at that point, was profound in light of the fact that Faith was endorsed to Diddy's Terrible Kid Records, and Stevie used to work for Diddy as a maker. Goodness, and I could go on and on all day about the way that Stevie is likewise. As the backup parent of Faith and Big Deal's child, CJ Wallace, there is no doubt that the last part certainly made things strange, and Dill, I sort of get why Faith didn't have any desire to seek after a relationship with him, since it is certainly off-kilter. Yet the fundamental explanation she never needed to date him was on the grounds that she knew about his muddled history with ladies, since she used to offer him guidance on the most proficient method to manage his different exes and child mothers. I initially met Stevie he was even a piece of the contract killer. I think we just turned out to be truly old buddies from the get-go, on the grounds that I would be letting him know stuff. I'll be hearing him discuss his child moms, and I'm similar to Kid. You better call her, and just consistently sort of attempting to let him know the correct thing to do, yet he didn't yield, and indeed even got a portion of her dearest companions and family to converse with her. It took me a moment to try and resemble. Okay, well, perhaps I'll get over here and go out on the town with you, or perhaps I'll go to supper with you. Yet it was a ton of, as I have to take a hard pass, and he truly argued with me and all of my, you realize, dear companions. If it's not too much trouble, similar to I've been cherishing her for quite a long time, I simply never would slight no one, and except for she's forever been there for myself, and never passed judgment on me. And now that appears to be charming and everything, except there was at that point a ton of wreck happening before they even began, on the grounds that Stevie was involved with the lady we as a whole know as Jocelyn Hernandez. And furthermore, Jocelyn was pregnant with Stevie's child around the time he began putting the continues on trust, and they began dating and disliked Faith. Didn't have the foggiest idea, however it plainly didn't irritate her that much by any means. Now this was one of the primary large warnings that the relationship would have been poisonous as could be. Nevertheless, Faith either didn't peruse the banners or see them, or she just decided to disregard them totally. They began dating around mid to late 2016, and aside from the entire piece of him leaving his pregnant sweetheart for her, things were extraordinary between them. Well, for a couple of months essentially, on the grounds that in February 2017, he was prosecuted for not paying youngster support for his 6 children. He was condemned to 3 years of probation, to pay over $1.3 million in compensation. As though that wasn't at that point terrible enough, a lady named Liz Gaspari approached to uncover Stevie for going behind her back with Faith. She guaranteed that Stevie resided in her home while he was going to court for his kid support, and again, dislike Faith, had barely any familiarity with this, in light of the fact that Liz asserted that Faith bothered her and, surprisingly, crushed up her vehicle. She said he raced to filth to be a rubbish with a filth who utilizes 25 phony numbers and texts me offending remarks, calling me revolting and rotten, and so forth. In the meantime, Stevie is letting me know how terrible Faith is. They are both monstrous individuals. He and Faith better spend the cash they made at this spot and fix my Bentley that they crushed. No doubt, I kind of see the reason why Little Kim has been taunting Faith since this is a hopeless train wreck. Yet we'll get into Little Kim's part in a piece. Liz likewise uncovered Faith for sending mean messages to her Maxim. She went after my investigations, and it shows who she will be. She emailed me certain pregnancy sticks badger me on my cell and sent DMs with counterfeit messages and counterfeit telephone numbers. By the day's end, I'm not on the lone wolf, vying for Stevie J. Right now, individuals in Faith Inward Circle could see the warnings flying extremely high, and they believed that she should leave before things got much more poisonous. She attempted to pay attention to them and severed things with Stevie. I recently felt like I don't know that you're truly prepared, and I'm full-grown sufficient. I mean, I was developed enough going into it. Like, I realized there's a 50-50 possibility it may not end up working. So I'm additionally sufficiently brilliant to see when it's the ideal opportunity for me to fall back, and I did. However, at that point, that separation didn't stand the test of time, extremely lengthy, and Faith wound up requiring him back after 2 or 3 months, and this time Stevie was not taking a risk with anything. In 2018, they were in Las Vegas when Stevie proposed her, and when I say proposed, I mean he requested that she wed him assaulted in their lodging without illuminating her companions or family. I mean, they didn't have wedding bands. This was likewise a significant warning, and it sort of appeared as though he was hurrying her into marriage before she had the opportunity to address her kin in her inner circle. He realized that their objecting to him would have persuaded her to not wed him. I mean, even her own kids had barely any insight into the wedding. No doubt, there were a great deal of warnings composed on top of it. Well, 2 days after their marriage became public, Stevie's child mom, Jocelyn, uncovered him for proposing to her only 1 month before he wed Faith. Jocelyn posted a screen capture of their discussion where he said, "Will you marry me?" "What's more," she answered, "I'm truly attempting to wed another person. I truly like it. I'm sorry I attempted it with you. I'm enjoying another person a great deal." Stevie didn't answer. Cool damn, I love you, jarring you dumb little bee. Proposing to another person a month prior getting hitched is exceptionally wild, and it sort of recommends that Stevie was cheating on trust before they got hitched. Yet Faith didn't answer this, and it appeared as though they were resolving things well until a year into their marriage, when bits of gossip about separation began to circumvent in 2019. They unfollowed each other via virtual entertainment, and Stevie filled the tales for certain strange things he posted on Twitter. He said stuff like "Aelki." Neoholic individuals generally talk their reality. One's instabilities can harm them, and all that sparkles ain't gold. While things set up for some time after that, he before long got individuals confounded once more when he tweeted trust. Nobian figured out that no lady as devoted knew that, and it's a gift to know this person. Once more, tricking bits of gossip going around, and he attempted to guarantee that he didn't make those tweets since his record was hacked. Yet we've heard that excuse too. Off to you. And to accept it. However, at that point, things got into crazy in 2020 after TMZ revealed that Faith had been captured by the police after a contention among her, and Stevie got way crazy and turned vicious. The police detailed that when they showed up at the scene, Stevie had a ton of noticeable checks and scratches all over Faith was captured on DV charges. However, she was delivered on bond following a couple of hours. The charges were subsequently dropped on the grounds that Stevie would not affirm against Faith, yet assuming you think that implies the marriage was going great. Then, at that point, child, you better reconsider on the grounds that Jocelyn pummeled Faith 2 or 3 months after that. Blaming her for cheating with a few men she composed, be you, a cultivator, your own significant other, told me, and my better half keep going. Week you went behind his back with young fellows, and you do constantly. Furthermore, FYI, you've been sucking Stevie's D for quite a long time, even before I drop. Ped his sorry butt. This caused such a lot of strain in their marriage that Stevie ultimately petitioned for legal separation a couple of months after the fact. Now this all occurred around quite a while back or so. Yet insiders are presently spilling some major about how Lil Kim responded to Faith Poisonous marriage. Subscribe Celeb Hut for more videos.